Episode 1. Or wait, no. Episode 4.
This is episode 4. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing over on the left side. I don't know. I've never watched WWE or wrestling or... I've never watched any sport.
Yeah,
Are you a sports
you
person?
ever watch sports?
Yeah.
I have. I've watched some.
Is
sports,
is
you
Super
know, I've watched
Mario
some
a sport? Is there
Super Mario.
professional Super Mario League?
Yeah, there is. Haven't you ever seen there's like
Gaming,
There's like
game conventions.
there's game
competitions. But
Yeah.
that's not a professional sport.
No, they are.
It's not like, oh, you watch NFL? No, I watch the National Fortnite.
I watched the National Fortnite.
National Fortnite competition.
The National Fortnite competition.
Whatever it's called.
It's very a big thing at this point, honestly.
Yeah, Fortnite is.
Yeah. It's
so
the only stuff I ever watched of like the fighting was when like there's all like whenever there's like drama or something about one of the fighters. I'm just interested in it. Yeah, so what have you been up to?
To work at Chick-fil-A. Who knew? I've also been up to productive things here. I'm very productive.
For those who cannot see, which is everyone who's listening to a podcast, he is holding up his Nintendo Switch.
Not a sponsor.
Nintendo, if you would like to sponsor our episode, please.
Listen, I am a big fan of Nintendo.
Nintendo is great.
It's a growing company.
Yeah.
You know what else is growing? Citrus-free lemonade.
Yeah, what was it? We saw just another day we were looking at it and it was like 250 plays so far. And that is insane. I mean, there are
I don't even know 250 people. Like in my entire lifetime.
I think you do.
I know like probably a couple, like 250,000, but not just 250.
Oh.
Reverse psychology.
Well, I mean, but can you just fathom that for a moment? There was 250 times that someone decided that they wanted to listen to us speak. That is incredible.
2 adolescent teenagers.
Adolescent teenagers.
Yeah.
That's repetitive and redundant.
I love redundancy.
Wait.
I love redundancy.
Redundancy is awesome.
Yeah. I love redundancy. We've just spent 3 minutes, 35 seconds talking about nothing.
And that is what we do here at Chick-fil-A.
And 250 people listen to it.
250
so far.
People listen to it. So far. Okay, so I have this question. I have this idea, which is why
okay, you go
do they
first
call
and then
it...
I go.
Okay, you go. Yeah, we'll tag team it. Uh-huh. Why did they call it road work if the road is not working at the time that they were working on it?
Well, let's look at this from another angle. What do they call some other thing that's road work? Not road work. What other kind of work is there that has like people work?
Yard work. People work. Yeah.
You're doing some yard work.
Uh-huh.
And now yard work has become a verb. Can you turn road work into a verb?
I don't know. I'm just saying road work ahead, work.
Yeah.
And then
and then there's a sign that says end road work. But those protest signs, I've not seen any. Like, I've seen those protests. You know what I'm talking about. Like the protest signs that says end road work on the side of the road. But road work is still going on. So those protest signs aren't working.
No, it's not. Where they say end road work.
End road work.
But the road work's still happening.
Yeah, the people still end up doing construction on it. So I didn't come up with that. I just stole it off of social media. So
Yeah, thank you for this. So it's a good citation there.
Yeah.
So what did you
Cool,
have?
guys. Garrett, my family's at the house now. They were out buying groceries, so they're home now. So at any given moment, you might hear somebody yell, "Come get groceries,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure what to do at that point because we're recording right now. So a little bit of behind the scenes.
A little bit of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
is road work? Why do they say road work?
I don't know. I think they're trying to say something about work, but I just don't think it's makes sense.
It's like the moment you take away all adjectives and verbs from a sentence, it becomes professional.
Yes.
Rendezvous at like or like air traffic
Rendezvous
controllers.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. You take out.
Okay, so this was a question as a Chick-fil-A-er. We're both Chick-fil-A-ers.
Mm-hmm.
You know who our CEO is, right?
Yours.
Dan Cathy.
Yeah.
Dan Cathy. So I had one of the directors at Chick-fil-A was asking me a question, which I thought was very, very poignant and very kind of to figure out where we stand and what we would do. If Dan Cathy walked into your Chick-fil-A and asked you for a fried chicken wrap, would you make it for him?
Would I personally?
Yes.
No, I wouldn't, and I would clarify and say I don't know how to cook in the kitchen.
So, okay.
Would we make it? Yes, we would. The
So you
store would
make
have it made for him.
The store would have it made for him. But you do know that it's not.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to make those. Like that's not.
Oh, I didn't know. I mean.
And now we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsor.
Remember whenever there was a time whenever we worked together and there was this person who came in with asked for like a large fry or something like that, and then bacon bits and shredded cheese. And then they put it all, and maybe even like a Chick-fil-A sauce, like half a thing of Chick-fil-A sauce. Okay. And they put it all into one thing and turn it into some kind of fancy chili fries.
Oh, my.
And we're like, listen, we'll do it for you this time, but we're not doing it again. Like, you can order all these things separate, but they asked us to put it all in the same bowl. The fries, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Asked us to all put it all in one large salad bowl. And we're like, we'll do it this time, but we won't do it next time.
So are you saying that if Dan Cathy is asking for it, you're basically saying we're going to do it this time?
Yeah, we'll do it this time, Mr. Dan.
So my frame of thought on it
and in fact, if my operator came and said, hey, do this for me, if he's willing to ask for it, unless it's a trick question, which is what I feel like Dan Cathy would do.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, would he be using it as a test to see how much do you know the business? And so that's where what would he respect more? You doing everything that he asked you to do, or like you're just like, well, no. Like,
so why were you asked? Why were you asked?
It's just a mind game. It's would you tell Dan Cathy, no, I'm sorry, that's just not how we do. We just don't do that. Would he respect you for that? Because it's like, hey, you're sticking up for what Chick-fil-A stands for, or would he want you to just get everything that he wants for him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I would say the best situation would be, say, in his case, in special cases like that, where somebody comes forward and they say, hey, can you do this special thing? You don't have to do it. You don't even have to say that first time. But you may be in a situation where you can, and so you'll say, listen, we'll do it this time. But for future reference, we can't respect that every single time. We have to politely say no.
Yeah. So like, but you know what I'm saying? Trying to say though. This is interesting. It's an interesting concept. I mean, it's interesting. Like as a Chick-fil-A, or what?
So here's my
idea. Stand on it?
Or are we done? Are you done? Where do I stand?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
no. Say what you were saying.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. We're changing subject here. The other day I thought of a cool idea. You know how on our list of cool inventions that need to exist, um, we have this idea of you know how they have MRE meals for like military whenever you go in and you
Yeah.
just add water and you know you let the pouch heat up and then you ding your food's done and then you add the half bottle of Tabasco that way you can swallow it down without dying of blandness. And I ate one of those. It was
You've
like
had one of those, I'm sure.
yeah, it was like a 10-year-old spaghetti. No, it was a spicy like a Cajun rice and
What
maybe
was it
with chicken in
like?
it. It was very. It tastes like it just tastes off. It wasn't bad. I mean, those things are designed to last 50 years.
Mm.
Um, it was strange taste,
But was
but
it for how old it was? Was it good?
yeah, I mean, honest, no, what didn't taste strange because it was old. It tasted strange because it wasn't old. It tasted strange because that's the way MRE food meals are made.
Mm.
Because they're only made with specific ingredients that are designed to that are capable of lasting long periods of time.
So what was your
And that
idea?
also have all the calories in the food and the
Yeah.
nutrition that men who eat those kind of meals need. So they have MRE meals, and we came up with the idea of MRE water.
Yes, which is
Yeah.
it's a great idea.
It's a great idea. Just add water. You wait 60 seconds, and ding, it's done. And then like Dasani can get on and they'll be like, hey, recommended with Dasani. Dasani not included. Buy separately. That way Dasani can get a cut of the profits too. Or like
Exactly.
yeah. I mean, it's a great marketing technique.
Mm.
Great marketing, great thing. MRE waters. Nobody steal that because even though we don't have a patent for it, we claim rights to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll send our lawyers after you.
Yeah. Well, I was talking with a coworker at my Chick-fil-A, and we was talking, and we were like, you know how, and I even mentioned the MRE water. You know how they have things that are like, just add water to your oatmeal. Just add water. Swiss Miss chocolate milk. Hot chocolate, I mean. Just add water. A lot of instant foods. But half the time, if you're really going to have those foods be better, especially like Swiss Miss, you're not going to add water. You're going to add milk. You're going to microwave some milk instead of water. And then you're going to put the hot chocolate in the milk. And you want some good, if you want oatmeal, like you can use the water. Most people do. But pour a little bit of whole milk in and then add your cinnamon, your sugar, your butter, whatever it is you're going to add. I had a coworker, he's like, I don't remember the last time I ever used water for any instant oatmeal. He boils his milk and then he adds the water and then he adds the oatmeal.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like that. I mean, that's just the next step. I mean, you boil the water, add the oatmeal, and then pour a little bit of milk on top. That's just boiling the milk and forgetting the water. That's just the next logical step. So it makes sense. We do that with Swiss Miss. So why not make, you know how they have powdered milk? Have, like, just add milk.
Just add milk.
Yes. Like powdered milk. Just add milk to this powdered milk. There you go. You got milk. It's not
I can't see. I mean, you get the powdered milk, you mix it with the milk. There you go. You got your milk. Double milk.
It's not as since we already came up with the MRE water, just add milk is just the next step. So it's not it's not as new and exciting as the MRE water, but it's still the next step.
I think there's a potential there where we could like call up the Got Milk commercials.
Yeah.
And we're gonna like got milk, and then it's like you and me, like we have like the milk on our, like.
Not a sponsor.
The Got Milk. Not yet. So, I had a question too. Do you know that, like, does this ever annoy you? And you realize how much you say this, but people say like not to mention.
No,
and then they say everything after it. Or the worst one is this goes without saying, but.
Oh, I think I said that. This goes without saying, but I said that last week, actually. I mean, it doesn't. And then you're like, no, it doesn't actually go without saying. If you think about it, it's kind of necessary.
No one has ever said that word without saying after it what they were already going to say.
Yeah. This
It's a
goes without
useless term.
saying. What? I can't
This
hear
goes
you.
without saying.
Okay. Yeah, this goes without saying, but the saying "this goes without saying" says how many times create an alliterated short little paragraph like a oxymoron kind of paradoxical sentence about this goes without saying.
I'll put it on our list.
This goes without saying goes without saying. Without saying this goes without saying. While saying
Goes
this
without saying.
goes without saying. Yeah, I don't know, something crazy.
We'll have to
So.
put that on our blog. If you haven't checked out the blog,
Yeah, if you guys, anybody who's listening, if you ever get any ideas, like if you want to comment in, you can do that on the Anchor app, which sounds pretty cool. Like, definitely do that. I'm just for experiments. Like, I'm curious how that would end up working out. If you ever got any thoughts,
go on the Anchor app, download it, create a account, and then you would look up the Citrus Free Lemonade podcast, and then you would send in your responses. And then if you wanted to go to, let me find our blog. If you wanted to go to our blog, that is citrusfreelemonade.home.blog. And that would be, you can access all of these ideas that we have, and we'll be updating the list as we come up with this stuff. I'm sure we'll get this thing written out, something about the not to mention, and then we can get everything on there. And then, there's also an option for you to submit your requests for things. And then if you have any ideas, we're trying to figure out what this show is going to look like. So if you have any ideas on, what structure we could do, some segment ideas, feel free to let us know what you think. So
give some shout outs. Shout out to that person who gave the first comment. What was it about? Like, happy where she? I think it was a she. I'm pretty sure it was a she.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "We're just gonna pretend." She said, her name's Lauren. You know Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lauren. We go way back. Lauren gave the first comment talking about Happy New Year's and how that technically you guys said a paradoxical statement saying Happy New Year's to you those in the past and Happy New Year's to those. It's kind of confusing there. Shout out to you, Lauren Karst. You know who you are.
Lauren Karst.
I don't know.
Definitely not a pseudonym.
No, it's real.
Lauren Karst. But yeah, she did have a very good point about
I actually know somebody who's.
Well, no, and then she also said that if a tree falls in the forest, doesn't make a sound. Well, it actually would never make a sound because it's the stuff underneath it that gets crushed that makes the sound. It's the leaves and stuff. It's not the tree that actually makes the sound.
Wow.
She just solved the debate.
You want to talk? Wow.
Lauren,
blown.
what's her last name? Lauren Karst.
Karstph.
The PH is silent.
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk about something else that's mind-blowing? Yesterday, the day before, we drove I drove my mom and 3 of my younger siblings 2 hours one way through Atlanta. And if you've ever been through Atlanta, you know it's a living nightmare. And I found out something. Holy cow, my mind is blown. I have been driving for 4 years and did not know this about driving. Okay?
If anyone from the driving the
community.
Or like the driving regulators in the government. Just turn it
yeah.
off. Don't listen to this because you might take his license away.
No. This is you don't lose your license for this. Those signs that have the big numbers on it.
Yeah.
That's the speed you're supposed to go. No. Here's
No,
the
I
thing.
think that's the minimum. That's the minimum speed.
Minimum speed limit.
Yes, because
75.
people have.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, officer. I thought I was obeying the law. It said 75. I was doing my best to go no less than 100.
It's because I always thought it was the limit to how slow you could go.
In your rear view mirrors, you have those little tabs at the bottom of it in the middle.
Yeah.
I just figured out last night at dark, that if you push that tab, your mirror somehow flips, just like angles itself.
Yeah.
And it goes from glaring you in the eyes with people turning their brights on.
Yep.
To just soft.
Mm-hmm. You never knew that.
I almost hit a car because I wouldn't stop looking at my rearview mirror.
Because of how cool.
And then I was like, Mom was like, Ethan, you need to start driving. You just start driving. I'm like, oh, just pretending like, oh, I'm sorry, officer, I wasn't texting. I was looking at my mirror. Because it's a law in Georgia now, as of mid of last year, about no texting and no holding your phone, period.
Oh, wow.
While you're driving. Yeah. It's a big issue here. It's a big safety issue. So,
well, it's a big safety issue everywhere.
I know it's a political statement, but I'm for it.
Yeah,
pretty much. Oh, I'm for it. I think it's a good thing to say. A good call.
I think it's the distraction is very much real, and then there's even stuff with like sleep too. If you don't get enough sleep, I mean, that's a big issue too. So, I mean, drunk driving, that's an obvious one. But when you start talking about not sleeping long enough or distracted, it's just the same.
So, well, drive safe.
Drive safe.
Garrett, whenever you're driving to work, are you working tomorrow?
Yes, I am.
I work tomorrow.
It's icy tomorrow. It's icy today. So we'll hope it's not super icy. Okay.
It's raining right now.
That's very fortunate of you.
Well, that's 60 minutes, 50 seconds. I gotta
to wrap it up.
Hit the hay.
I do got a one question to ask you. What do you call the container in the drive-thru? Okay. Do you have the containers like set up on the thing? That you like get the tea from?
What?
You have like the tea containers,
The tea urns?
Like the metal ones.
Yeah.
You answer my question. I was going to ask you what you called it.
What do you call it?
I don't like that people call it an urn. I don't like it. I think it should be called a container. I think it could be called a...
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
It keeps on like... Well, no, I can right now, but it just keeps on breaking up.
I ask people... I don't like the word urn.
Like right now?
I just wanted to see if you called it an urn, and now I have found out. And I would like to formally submit a protest to the fact that you call it an urn, because I don't like it. So, just putting that out there.
Well,
please comment on our blog if you call it an urn, like a metal
even if
container.
You don't work at Chick-fil-A.
Even if you don't work at Chick-fil-A. If you have a metal container...
If you've never even been to Chick-fil-A.
Never even been to Chick-fil-A. If you have a metal container...
If you have an iPhone and you're listening to this on podcast, and you live in Nigeria, and Chick-fil-A does not even exist in your repertoire, tell us anyway.
Think about what... I think I'll actually put a poll up.
With no context, no understanding of what we're even talking about.
With no context. I'm actually going to put up a poll on Twitter. You can follow us at citrus_free on Twitter. And there, where I'm going to put up a poll, I'm going to see, what do you call it? Do you call it an urn? Do you call it a container? Do you call it a jug? What you hold water in, like a metal container?
A basket?
A basket. A basket that has a little spout on it that you pull down, and then the water comes out. What do you call one of those things? I'm gonna put up a poll, and we're gonna sort this one out, because I don't think it's called an urn. I think an urn is a dumb name.
Get your
I
dictionary
think it's
out, Garrett.
called.
I think you'll find yourself pretty surprised.
Well, okay, whatever. Well,
Okay, that ends it.
This ends our conversation today. Thank you for tuning in to the. We're not really tuning in. You're kind of just clicking, but tuning in just sounds nice. Tuning into the Citrus Free Lemonade podcast. This is the 4th episode. So
We'll talk to you guys later. Have a God blessed evening, afternoon, day, whatever time is left. Bye.
Yep. Bye. If you would like announcements when the next episode comes out, check us out on Twitter. Our handle is @citrusfree.